It's around this time that I start getting this itch of curiosity of what's going back home in Germany. And with this itch, I start missing things about the European lifestyle. I want to say Germany, but then it's overall European lifestyle. So we've been back here in California since I think January now, February, March, April. So only about 3 months. And I was okay until I found out that I needed to go to Switzerland for work. So we're flying in about a couple of weeks to go to Switzerland. Once we booked our flights, you know how when you do something, it's constantly then on your mind. So once we booked the flights, it's been constantly on my mind because I'm thinking about, okay, what are we going to do when we get there and where are we going to stay? And then we thought, well, we're there in Switzerland. We're only literally 4 hours away to our German home. So I figured maybe one of the weekends we can go to our house. So all these things I started thinking about, and then I started missing Germany. I started missing Europe. So there are 3 things that stand out for me. And each year, every time we're here, it's different things that I miss about Germany. So this year, the 3 things that I miss about Germany are what I want to talk about. Tonight we have a date night, so I was in the middle of getting ready and then I realized that today is Saturday. I want to post tomorrow. I haven't had any time to shoot anything, so let me do the video first and then I will continue getting dressed. So this time when we came back, in the past 3 months, I had about 3 different scares where mentally I was thinking, oh shit, something is wrong with me. And when I had those 3 scares, I never once thought about calling a doctor or going into ER because I really try to avoid it. Because we're self-employed, for us to get top-notch healthcare, we have to pay a lot of money in order to have a low deductible and a really good healthcare. To keep our monthly cost low, we have a very high deductible. And because of that reason, in the back of my mind, I never once thought that I could go to the doctor. But if I was in Germany, I know for a fact that I would have never second guessed it. I would have made the appointment to go see a doctor. I would have walked into the hospital immediately if I felt that threatened, that something could be wrong. But because we were here in the US, that was like not even an option for me. Unless I'm dying, I'm not gonna go to an ER and shell out thousands of dollars out of pocket. And that's something surfaced recently. I was like, I really miss that feeling of being protected. You just feel at ease. You don't have that stress looming over your head. Even with having health insurance, there's still that level of stress. You know how thousands of dollars that you'll be out of pocket if you go into the ER. Hundreds of dollars you'll be out of pocket if you go see a doctor. And I know a lot of people might disagree with me here in the US, but if you have good insurance and you have the capacity to pay for good insurance, or if you're employed and you get good health insurance through your employer, then you wouldn't have that worry. But there are a lot of people that are in the same boat as I am who try to keep healthcare here in the US affordable by having a very high deductible. And for those people, it really is shitty. So a couple of days ago, we were talking with our friends from Germany who live pretty close to us. So when we're in Germany, we hang out quite often with them. So they were filling us in with all of what we're missing and all of the updates around our village, the town nearby. So one of the things they mentioned was the Bier Gardens open, and that made me really, really miss that culture of, I don't want to say beer garden, but it's a culture that is so unique to Europe. The culture of meeting your friends and meeting your family and sitting together outdoors, that culture is really missing here in the US. No matter where you go, you can go to California, you can go to New York, but that outdoor seating, it's just not there. It's very, very minimal here. And you can go anywhere within Europe. I feel like people pretty much live outdoors as soon as it starts getting warm until the winter months. Everywhere you go, every city you go to, you see more people sitting outdoors than you see people sitting indoors. And here, everywhere you go, every restaurant, everything is indoors. We have a couple of restaurants here in Palm Springs where you get to sit outdoors. But this is an exception because we live in a resort town. But if you go to Los Angeles, San Diego, everywhere you go, it's very minimal seating outdoors. And if it is, then you're either looking at a strip mall or you're looking at a street. It's just not the same feeling. There, it feels communal. Like everyone kind of comes together. It's just amazing. I love it so much, and I really, really miss that. It's a culture that is not rushed. If you want to spend a day basically with your friends, you take a nice walk, and then you find a place to sit and you have a coffee and you talk for hours, and then you take a walk again, and then you maybe find a place to either have a late lunch or early dinner, or you go to a beer garden and then you sit there for another 2 or 3 hours and just talk about life. Here, everything feels rushed because everyone seems to be so busy with their lives. And I don't know why it's like this. I'm like this too. When I'm here, I feel like I have a million things to do. But when we go back to Germany, life kind of just pauses. I don't know how to explain this. Why is it like this? Maybe you guys can explain it to me. And I don't want to say life is easy there, because it's not. I think life is just fucking hard wherever you go in this world. But anywhere in Europe, I feel like it's that hustle culture is not there. People work hard, but they also take a pause. I think it's probably because the culture in Europe in general is to value the time off and value the time that you spend with your friends. So therefore, when you hang out with either yourself or with family or friends, you value that time, so you take it very slow. Before I started recording this video, I was catching up with a friend who I haven't spoken to for a while here in California. So she's changing her job, so she has about a week off in between. So she's taking that break and flying to Hawaii. And she asked me, do you guys want to go? And my answer to her was, 5-hour flight? I don't know. That just seems like so much. And that's when I realized that's something I really miss. So I think Europeans take this for granted. So if you're watching this, you're from Europe and you live there, and if you complain about your life there, stop complaining, because I think you have it so good. And sometimes I think we're all guilty of this, right? When we have something, we don't recognize the qualities of what we have. I'm probably doing the same thing right now with what I have here in the US. I'm not looking at it positively. And this is something so unique to Europe. When you live in Europe, you have access to so many different countries, cultures, foods, that you can hop on a flight. Within an hour, you could be in a different country, different culture, different food, different language. I think that is just insane, and it's so beautiful. I feel like we've been stuck in Southern California. We haven't gone anywhere because everything seems like a huge effort. I don't want to go to Miami because you fly 6 hours and you're still in the US. I don't want to go to New York. Same thing. You're still in the US. Same food and same everything. To me, it's not special anymore, and it used to be. And because anything new takes so much effort and so long to fly to, it's like, forget it. I'd rather just stay home and do something driving distance. But the reason I feel that now is because living in Germany has ruined it for me. And I'm saying that as a positive thing. It's ruined it for me, where I am so used to hopping in the car, and within 5 hours, we go through 5 countries: Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Italy. To me, that's mind-blowing. In California, we drive 5 hours, and we haven't even made it to San Francisco. And everywhere we go, it's all the same. It's strip malls after strip malls. It's very few places where you would find uniqueness, in my opinion. Versus in Europe, go through these beautiful towns with ridiculous amount of history. Because my mind is so used to that I really miss that sometimes. But I'm not complaining, I'm just comparing. But I've said this in the past, where comparing is a thief of joy. So I try not to compare, but these are the things that I do miss about Germany and about Europe. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And now I'm gonna go get ready so we can head out to our date night. We're watching a little show. I think it's like a George Michael impersonator that's singing live all of his songs. So we like to support smaller artists as much as we can. So we're gonna go have dinner and drinks first, and then we're gonna go see the show. And then I will see you guys in the next video.